Greetings. Now I need to change the background, the topic of today. For today we'll be talking about best way for community organizing or politics. Politics is another branch of philosophy, by the way. And polis, it comes from a Greek word polis, which used to be a small city-state. Like before we had big states, we had small city-states, and each city-state had its own government. Sparta, Athens, those were small city-states which fought each other, and there was no unifying government for all of them. So from the word polis, we have policy, police, politics, etc. So politics is the communal life, as a community. How do we want to live together? What's the best model? Should we agree on some principles, like should we agree to respect the property of others or not? That's also politics. Should we agree to divide everything between all of us or not? Should it be based on the will of the person, or it should be just mandatory and you shouldn't care if the person doesn't want his property to be shared with others? Capitalism, socialism, something else. What's the best form of communal or community life? And politics is just that, living together as a community. That's it, So I think I could, talk about capitalism, socialism, and then maybe some people might come up and we might have some interesting conversation. So community, like, what is it? It's a group of people that live together. Okay, let's define our terms. So community is about a group of people living together. That's community. So basically, in order to be part of a community in this context, you need to be living with others. You need to live not very far from each other. This is the working definition of community: a group of people living together. So a family is a tiny community, Your workplace and partners, people with whom you work, that's another community, and so on. Okay. And we could take countries as communities as well, but that's pretty big. Although when a country decides, like, we need to have this policy on this specific question, that's also politics. And countries deciding what is acceptable, what's not, that's also politics and communal or community life. Okay, so that's about community. Now if we try to analyze, like, historically, how communities lived, there are some interesting perceptions, and of course our perceptions depend on our worldview. Some idealists, collectivists, socialists might argue that long ago, when people lived in tribes, everything was shared between all the members of the tribe, children and women were taken care of, etc., etc. That's one interpretation, yeah, one perspective. Someone else might argue that no, actually the strongest people in the tribe, like physically, the strongest people would take the best, and what was left would be given to the rest of the tribe members. Yeah. So historically, when we interpret the past, that interpretation depends on our perceptions and our identities today. Okay. If you're a socialist, you will interpret things on your own. And if you're a capitalist, you will interpret things your own way. Yeah, that's kind of natural. Of course, if you are a learned person, if truth is more important to you, you try to put aside your own perception, your own biases. Yeah. But in some cases, especially when it comes to history and very ancient history, when we just have only some artifacts left, interpretations are wild, yeah? And they strongly depend on our modern perception. Here's a specific example of that. In Egypt, they discovered a tomb where two males were buried together. And some people say that's a rare example of same-sex marriage. And they have their arguments, like the depictions of the two men holding hands together, their noses touching each other. And in ancient Egyptian art, that was a very intimate gesture, yeah, a very intimate way of depicting couples, men and women. On the other hand, you have Muslim, Egyptian museologists and government officials who vehemently deny that no, it's not a gay couple, there's no homosexuality, ancient Egyptians didn't have homosexuality and stuff, it's just brothers, you know? So how we interpret today depends on how, what identities we have, whether we're conservative or liberal or something else. Now let's talk a little bit about those terms, capitalism, socialism, okay? Now, the idea, capitalism, the etymology, yeah, the root of the word capital is caput, which is head, yeah, in Latin, caput means head, so capita, or decapitate, yes, cut off someone's head, yeah? And we have capital. Capital is something you own, yeah, something you have, something that's yours. That's capital. It's very interesting to, understand when the sense of ownership emerged, or did it emerge at some point, or was it always there? Yeah, because when we look at animals, they also are territorial. Yes, dogs, cats, bears, lots of different animals. They arose historically with man. Maybe it's something that was there all the time. Greetings, web. I don't see the rest of your name. Web admin, maybe. So, would you like to think around those questions? These questions.
Let me see.
What's the best way for community organizing or communal living, like living together as a community, as a group of people, a big group of people? Hi, Mr. Sierra. Nice to see you.
It's a little bit out of my understanding to truly say what is best. But as far as I understand, right now, in the world, we can see clearly which is best when we compare with each other, because there are not that much socialism. How
Yeah.
can I say?
Countries. Yeah.
Well, socialist countries, but for example, North Korea, which is socialist country.
Yeah.
Yeah, socialist as a socialist country, North Korea, it's not in the good position when we compare with South Korea, because this is a typical socialist country, and in another hand, South Korea is a capitalism. So it's clear that capitalism won
Yeah.
in this
Capitalism.
particular.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Mr. Sierra, thank you so much for the hearts. I love it. And guys, others, you can also tap the screen. That might help, interesting people see the live and join the discussion. So web admin, now I'll just talk about capitalism a bit more. Okay, what is it? I'll explain a bit more, and then we can continue our discussion, okay? You can stay here, and after a while, I'll allow you to speak more, okay?
Okay.
Cool, thank you. So yes, capital is something you own. And that's an interesting question. Ownership, what is it? Maybe that's a mental software, like in our mental capacities, we have different things, yes? We have memory, we have imagination, we have ego, yes, sense of self, I am. So that sense of self, I would argue, needs specific boundaries internally and in the space around itself. So I would argue that, this is a thesis. It could be proven wrong maybe, but I'd say that a sense of self needs some awareness in space, and okay, I am this, I am not that, yeah? We need to have this feeling, or anything physical, yeah? This mouse or this cup, anything physical needs to have boundaries, clear boundaries, start, body, end, yeah? So I'd argue that sense of ownership or property is psychological. It is part of our psyche, and not just part of humans. Yeah, as I already mentioned, animals, they like to mark their space too. Yeah. So it's about beings who have mind, yeah, mental and analytical capacity. So I'd argue that the sense of capital, like ownership, yeah, starts with mental processes. And when we speak of owning stuff, like this is mine, of course, first you need I, me, then you need to be, then after that you will be able to say, this is mine. Yeah, so the sense of self is focal in this process, I'm arguing. And ownership starts with your mind. You understand, okay, I am, yeah, I can think. So this mind is mine, this memory, this imagination, these thoughts, this identity, everything is mine, yeah? So I'd argue that capitalism is natural in a way, yeah? It's conscious. You need consciousness for ownership, I'd argue, yeah, and mental processes. And it starts from your mind. Then, of course, your body is yours. Yes, you need to realize, okay, my body belongs to me. And it took evolution, like ages ago, or even today in some societies, you could think, no, my body belongs to my leader, the supreme leader, yeah? And I'm ready to sacrifice myself for my church, my community, my king, etc., etc. Yeah? So it's not a given, and in different contexts, it can be experienced differently. But capital, I'd argue, starts with your mind, your body. Then you can say that other things are yours. Yeah, this bottle is mine. Yeah, this notebook is mine. But you need and you need mental processes, identities to be able to speak of mine. Okay, so capitalism is very conscious, very reasonable, very personal, and it starts with your own mind and body. Now, web app development. Would you like to say something about this topic?
Yeah, my name is Arsen. Let me introduce.
Okay, nice to meet you, Arsene. And thank you as well for the hearts. Sierra, Arsene, thanks a lot.
Yeah. You open me new information because I really never thought about it. Yeah, you're right. And this is something natural. But I think most of the people, even living in socialism before, I mean, our countrymates, all generations, didn't really like concept of socialism. But there are, of course, many advantages. Can I say like that?
Yeah, advantages, correct.
Yeah. But when we compare the
Excuse me, do you mean there are advantages to socialism or capitalism? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean socialism, because they
Okay.
lived in socialism. So, but their understanding of good life, they don't even understand which is good and which is not, because they never left country. They never been another society. So
Yeah, those are good points. I totally agree with you. If you cannot compare something with something else, how can you know what's better and what's worse?
they are thinking it's not going out of the box. Can I say like this?
Yeah, their thinking is limited. Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah.
Limited, yes. So we could also talk about that, the perception of people, and why it is so. Yeah, that's an interesting topic as well. Let me just think if I want to say something else about capitalism. Yeah, I would say capitalism is good for me because, well, I want to be the owner of my mind and my body. Yes, if I don't like something, for example, I don't like physical work, then I should be able to do what I want. In socialism, actually, historically, and even today, you cannot do that. In many cases, your government tells you, you have to work in the fields. Yeah? In North Korea, for example, you cannot choose your own profession, freely. You can have very limited choices sometimes, and maybe in China it is freer, but China is not a classical socialist country. It has capitalist elements. So I'd say capitalism is better. Now Arsene spoke of our countrymen, and Arsene mentioned that Armenians historically lived under socialism. So we spoke of capitalism a little bit, and if I try to define capitalism, It's a community organized. It's a way of organizing community in which private property is respected. Your mind, your body, your belongings, your vital, your life energy, yeah, is yours, and you decide what to do with your mind, your body, your life. Yeah, that's capitalism. Now, socialism. The root of the word is socium. Yeah, I think it's probably Latin, not Greek. And socium means society. So socialism is not about individuals. Yeah? Capitalism is about individual freedom. Yeah, at the basis. Caput is the head. So capitalism starts with your head, I would argue. Yeah. Socialism starts with a group of people. In socialism, individuals don't matter. It's the society which matters. In socialism, it's about classes. So you have Arsene, do you know what class of people is very important in socialism?
I don't really understand this question. Sorry.
Okay. So in socialism, we have they speak of classes, yeah, classes of people, different groups of people. Do you know what group of people is more important
Yeah.
in socialism?
Oh, mm, I'm not sure.
Okay,
What
I
it
will
could
give
be.
you, yeah, I'll give you three options. You can try to guess, okay? Option
In
one,
socialism, right?
yeah, in socialism, yeah.
Yeah.
Option one, philosophers. Option two, artists. Option three, the working class. Which one?
I think working class.
Exactly. Yes, working class.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in socialism, working class is important. Yes, people who work. And normally, by that, they mean people who do the jobs which are not well paid for. Well, of course, you can be a part of a working class by being a director or a CEO. Yeah, but in socialism,
Mhm.
they don't like people who are well paid. They don't like millionaires and billionaires, etc., etc. Socialism is about group. Yeah, in socialism, they argue that individuals are less important. Groups are more important. And you have good groups like the working class, and you have bad groups. Yeah. So Arsene, could you try to guess what do they call the bad groups of people in socialism who oppress the working class?
Uh, I don't know the enemies of the country. I don't know.
They are called the enemies of the country and of socialism. Okay, there is one word, bourgeoisie. Yeah, the
Yeah.
bourgeois people or the class of
Mhm.
the bourgeois is considered the enemy. So in socialism, you have a big conflict. Yeah, the working class and the bourgeoisie. Yeah, they kind of clash in socialism. And socialists argue that working class is being oppressed by the bourgeois, by the rich. Yeah, and bourgeois are lazy. They do not deserve all the money. They shouldn't own the land, the factories, etc., etc. This is what they argue in socialism. Yeah. Now, what do you think, guys? And even if you watch this live later on my YouTube, you can write your opinions in the comments section. Okay, this is also, practicing English for you, your written English. And for Arsene, he is here and he can practice his spoken English. So, what do you think, Arsene? Do you agree with the vision of the socialism that rich people shouldn't be rich? Their money should be taken and given to the working class. Do you agree with that or not?
Of course, no, because um, he he worked really hard, even harder than the other people of that socium, and it's not fair to to give all of that,
Society, yeah, of that.
all of that money to the other people. So even even giving them, it's not bringing the whole socium the equal positions, because everyone's spending in his own way. I don't know how to explain this moment, but most of the people, I think, feel that the people not spending and not managing his money equally and not consciously, right?
So I think what you're trying to say is the following. Even if we divide all the wealth equally between everyone, yeah, all the people will have the exact amount of money. Different people will spend differently, yeah,
Yeah.
and some people will still get more money, and others will be left without money. They may go to casinos, for example, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
They may spend their money in stupid ways. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, then I got your point. Okay, yeah, I would agree with that myself. And from that perspective, I'd say socialism is not only bad, it is also unjust. Yeah, rich people have their property. Yeah, maybe they worked hard for it, maybe they inherited it, maybe their parents gave it to them. Yeah. Of course, sometimes you may have corruption. Sometimes we know that Robert Kocharian, for example, he was not born rich. Yeah, he stole a lot of money from people. Yeah. Would you agree on that, Arsene, or no?
Yeah, I agree with that. Most of the governors getting rich like that.
So sometimes, if you're rich, maybe it's you stole money. But if it's about stealing, of course, those people need to be punished. Yeah, the money needs to be returned to those from whom it was taken. However, you cannot say that all the rich people are thieves and we need to take away their money, yeah, and being rich is bad, etc., etc. So socialism has this huge problem. Socialism doesn't care about the opinion of a group of people whom they call bourgeois. Yeah. So, like, suppose you're rich, Arsene. Would you like, another group of people come and take your money from you? Would you be okay with that?
No, of course no. But
What?
it's easy answer, because it's my capital that I create by myself. Why should I
Yeah.
share that with anyone else?
Exactly.
But
It's your money. You earned it. Yeah.
yeah, but I want to say, I think rich people need to share with their knowledge with everyone to help anyhow the other people also. This is a part
So
of the socium, I think.
of the society, yeah. So you're saying that rich people should teach others how to get rich? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not sharing capital, but sharing information,
Knowledge and information.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And we, of course, we have people who don't want to learn that, and they say that the government needs to take care of me and my needs. Yeah, they say the rich need to be taxed, or I don't want to work hard. I want to get money from the government. How about that? What do you think? Should the government give a lot of money to its citizens or not? And why?
Should governors tax us more, or I don't understand.
Okay, should the government, any government, help the citizens like pensions to the old people? Yes, if you are old, you need to get money from the government. Or if you're a student, should the government pay instead of you for your, university tuition? Or
No,
should the government give you money because you have no job?
no. I think young generation.
You think your generation, then what? Hello? Okay, we didn't hear you, Arsene.
Yeah, I said a young generation doesn't need to have that much privileges.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because our life, I mean, young generation, about to finding, to meeting challenges. So it's a natural way, and but for all generation, they live their life, so they need to have good pensions.
They need to have
Yeah.
good future.
No, pension? How can I say?
Pension. Yeah, pension. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. So you're saying that younger people need to learn. Yes, sometimes it is hard. Yeah. But we need to learn to make our own money. Yeah, I would agree with you. So we both think that capitalism is better than socialism, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We also have communism. Have you heard of communism? What's that?
Communal. It's from Communal. All of these terms comes from or Germany or France. Yeah. It's all about society, togetherness.
Yeah. Living together as a society. Yes, some of these words, actually, a lot of them come from Latin and from Greek. But historically, of course, yes, in Germany, we had Karl Marx, for instance, yeah, who invented the terms capitalism, socialism, communism, yeah. Marx. Do you know the other person? He's
I guess.
another socialist. Yeah. Go. Those people, yes, yes, those terms. They kind of created those terms, politically and philosophically speaking. So we could maybe take more specific societies and talk about what we would like to see. Yeah. You live in Armenia, right? Arsene. Oh, we lost Arsene. Okay, Arsene, if you'd like to return and continue this conversation, feel free to do so. Okay, then I'll continue myself. We could take, for instance, Argentina. Yeah, a beautiful place and Argentina, for a long time, they were socialist, and at some point they were fascist. Yeah. Fascism, by the way, is also another way of organizing community life. Yeah. Economy, fascism, socialism, these are forms of collectivism. Okay. Meaning groups are more important than people. So when we speak of those topics, we should know two terms. Yeah. Collectivism, when it's about the collective. Yeah, groups of people are more important. That's collectivism. And apart from collectivism, we have individualism, when it's about individuals, human beings. All right. So in collectivism, we have different forms. Yeah, different forms of collectivism. You can also have different forms of individualism as well. We could speak of right-wing collectivism and left-wing collectivism. Okay. Right-wing collectivism is nationalism, Nazism, fascism, etc. Right-wing collectivists are conservative, religious. Yeah, they value specific groups like family, nation, religious groups. Yeah, if it's a Christian country, then Christianity. If it's a Muslim country, then Islam, etc., etc. That's right-wing collectivism. And we can have left-wing collectivism, Marxism, socialism, communism, etc., etc. Yeah, that's left-wing collectivism. So communism, yeah, the commune is important. Yes, it's communism and socialism. Actually, it's about the same thing. Yeah, communism is a tool through which people thought that they could achieve socialism. First, everything needed to be made communal, like housing, property. You know, in the USSR, if you had an apartment with more than one room, the government could bring a family into your apartment or house, and the government would say, this room is not yours anymore, and you need to share your kitchen and your living room. That's how USSR worked, you know. So they were making everything about the community and communal. You had no private property. Even the names of the children, sometimes, you know, the commune came together, you know, people who lived in that area, yeah, in that building, they came together and they decided the name of the newborn baby. Can you imagine that? That's insane. And you have, you know, some crazy names which are socialist. For example, Marlene. Marlene, it's two names, Marx and Lenin. Together, it's Marlene. And you have lots of crazy stuff like that. Yeah. It makes me think of Ayn Rand. You know, Ayn Rand has a beautiful poem, novel, I'm sorry, a beautiful novel, which is called The Anthem. On YouTube, you have it also, by the way. You have it available as a graphic novel. It's an interesting genre. It's very short. It's a very short novel, so you can listen to that and discover a very socialist society would work, you know? And that's insane. In that novel, they don't even have private rooms, you know? Everything is shared and everybody belongs to everybody else, as another writer would say, you know? I think on YouTube I will have a little text in the description, and I'll give each names: Ayn Rand, Aldous Huxley. You can listen to their audiobooks or read their books, and you may discover some interesting stuff. Okay, so for today I think that's it. I'll wrap it up. And even if you watch this later on YouTube, leave your commentaries, guys, okay? Likes, shares, comments, and let me know what you think, okay? And some of this live was pretty original, you know, that thoughts about capital, self, you know, some of it are my own original thoughts, okay? So I served you something very unique and original in this life. So that's it. High five and see you next time. Bye bye.